Good evening, everyone. Next Generation Weather Forecaster Joe Shaka taking a look at Jose, and it looks like Jose is going to be playing some fun and games here with our forecasting skills in the Northeast and National Hurricane Center. Here is the track I have up for Jose. Tonight, obviously, 70-mile-an-hour tropical storm. I think tomorrow becomes back to a Category 1. Saturday, an 80. Sunday, a high-end Category 1. I didn't have enough room here to put numbers on, so probably 85 or 90. Monday, probably a low-end Category 2. And I think it stays below a major hurricane status for the remainder of its journey. Remind you, this was a Category 4 hurricane last week when it was further off to the south and east. So this already was a major hurricane, and we will see if it becomes a major hurricane again. But here's the track for the center of Jose. You can see here I noted a very important feature here for southern New England. I noted the benchmark, which is 40 north, 70 degrees west. And I have this, I don't know, it's hard to judge, but I think this is going to be 100 or so miles to the south of the benchmark. I don't think this is going to be a big problem here for New England. We'll take a look at that in just a moment here, why I think this is going to remain offshore and be a very, very low impact event for us here in New England at this time. And again, this forecast could change, but if you want to put out a forecast, if people want to see a forecast, we have to take a side. So I'm taking the side that's obviously heading out to sea at the moment. Here is this spaghetti plots here. Let me get my pen. Let me draw this in for you here. I'll use green. I'll use font number 7. And here is the envelope. And we'll take a look at the National Hurricane Center track here as well. Here is the envelope of plots. So you can see here what kind of a track you'd see. And by hour 144, hour 132 to hour 144, you can see that quick, almost like essentially a 90 degrees turn off to the east. So as of now, again, this is going to be interesting because this is going to go through, it's going to become extratropical and stuff. You're going to see an expanding wind field. But if this can get to the benchmark, again, 40 north, 70 west, I think there will be some impacts here in southern New England. But if this remains south and east of the benchmark, outside of the benchmark, I don't think this is a problem at all. Obviously, there'll be some surf, but as besides that, I don't think there'll be much of an issue. Now, if it can come, let's say if this ends up, being on the western side of the envelope guidance at this particular moment in time, obviously the guidance will trend around a little bit. Let's say if it's over here with the H-WRF, the UK Met, and the HMON, bring it in here where I have the red here, and then, it can do a track like this, get inside the benchmark, even though if it may still take a right turn out, it's just too far west and it's just too close to New England and not too far away, and it will obviously be a higher impact event. So again, a very, very interesting track situation on the table here, and we'll see if these models continue to play around and stuff. I can't show the European ensembles because of privacy issues from ECMWF, but all the members, I would like to say, are south and east of the benchmark. They come on up and then they turn south and eastward, further south and east than what you see here, probably closer towards this model here where I have the mouse. So very, very interesting. Here's the GFS ensembles again, further south and east. I like that very much. The Canadian ensembles, I like that very much as well. Now here are the SST configurations. You can see the warm water here. We have a cool tongue to the north. So plenty of heat content for this to certainly crank up, obviously, from where it is now. Here's the official National Hurricane Center forecast. And let me pull back my pen here. Pull this in here. Let me try to get font 7 or 8. One of those would work. Again, here's the current cone from 5 o'clock this afternoon. And we'll get a new cone at 11 o'clock tonight. Now, a couple things I want to point out here. Here is the current wind extent. I lost my mouse. Here's the current, you can see this yellow shading in through here. Yeah, that wasn't too good. Let's try that again. But anyway, I won't highlight, but here's the yellow shading. That is where the current tropical storm force winds extend out from the center. So you can see that it extends, probably, again, it's hard to judge on these maps, but it extends pretty far out from the center. Now, you can see they keep a tropical storm, then it becomes a hurricane over the next couple of days, maybe again early as tomorrow at some point during the day. Now, if our friend Jose takes the western end of this track, again, closer impacts to New England. And again, my theory, now I have a lot of ideas, all right? So you gotta listen to my ideas, okay? My ideas are valid. I gotta get a different color for this. Hold on. Let's try red. Now, I think if Jose, all right, can come within 73 or 74 degrees west latitude, longitude, 40 latitude. This can come in within 73 degrees west longitude. I think this may be, a problem here for Northeast, and I explained that, but I'm explaining it again. Given how wide this cone is, illustrated by the National Hurricane Center. And, if it stays at 72 or 71 westwards, it looks like they have here, it's still a threat, but there's just almost like there's too many unknowns for impacts from Hatteras to the Northeast. So, again, it's a wait-and-see game at the moment with our friend Jose. No way, Jose. I say no way. I say no way, Jose out to sea. Other people say no way, Jose. He's coming up. Now, here are the tropical storm force wind probabilities through next Tuesday. Southern New England here, and really from the Outer Banks and into South Carolina, really North Carolina to Southern New England. You can see we're in, the 5, I guess, 10, close to 20% probabilities here. Southern New England, Outer Banks, really. That entire area of real estate, up to 20% probability of tropical storm force winds, and this is the probability of tropical storm force winds. A 1-minute average sustain, not gust, a 1-minute average sustain of 39 miles an hour or higher. So obviously these probabilities will change given the storm's, intensity and development and whole process of becoming extratropical. Again, when these become extratropical, the winds expand out from the center. So a lot to take in consideration with this, and there's certainly no reason to panic people anywhere along the East Coast with this. So here is the 50-knot tropical storm force 1-minute average again, sustained to 58. Obviously, the only place that has a shot at the moment is the Outer Banks, but you can see this will approach New England at this time. And then obviously hurricane force, it's out to sea. And again, we'll have to see the intensity of what happens here with Jose. Here is the earliest reasonable arrival time of tropical storm force. Let's say, this is encountering all different track speeds and intensities and other guidance that the National Hurricane Center looks at. You can see, maybe by Monday afternoon, there could be tropical storm force winds in that cone area. And then here's the most likely. You can see the reasonable, and then the most likely arrival would be, probably, again, towards the end of that period by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. But again, I'm not worried about this really in New England. I think, again, as you saw, I think this stays out. But again, we have to keep an eye on it, obviously, since it is close and it is in the neighborhood. That's it for now, and thank you for watching.